Here's a screenshot from the Island trailer talking about new superstar customization. And here's footage from WWE 2K24 that took me 5 minutes to pull together of me creating the exact same guy. Notice anything? It's the exact same assets, the exact same clothing. This should be a warning to everyone of what to expect. They say it in the trailer, the future of WWE 2K. But in reality, is this our doomsday? I feel obligated to speak on this because I am an NBA 2K loyalist. Not by choice, I'm addicted to the game, I'm not ashamed to admit. At one point, I was ranked top 100 in NBA 2K. I've been playing for 20 years, since NBA 2K5, and I have a physical copy of NBA 2K5 because that's how much history I have with 2K. I wanted to buy this just to have it in my personal collection. And I want to get into more details and shine some light as to what I'm seeing in the Island trailer and some of the red flags that I think we should all be worried about. So why don't we start with the trailer? First of all, it's super short. I timed it. There's only 48 seconds of actual gameplay footage. It starts out with a bird's eye view of the island. Honestly, it looks somewhat impressive for sports game standards. Until we get here, I'll say reusing assets in game development doesn't concern me. That's fairly standard practice, especially in sports games that come out every single year. My concern is how are these reused assets that have been in the game potentially for years previously for anybody to use for free, how are they going to play nice with the VC-based digital clothing purchases for your superstar? You know, if I'm 2K, this is a proven business model in the NBA 2K franchise, and it is a cash cow for them. They are also fully aware that customization is the heartbeat of WWE games and really WWE in general. Characters and merch run pro wrestling. They are ever evolving. So 2K execs are drooling at the mouth with this idea of the incremental business they're going to get from what you see in this screenshot, especially given the range of items they can have in a WWE game versus an NBA game. There's so much more variance in WWE that people would be willing to purchase for their character. People are going to want to customize their character and change it often, right? Or buy new merch that's coming out that they see on TV. The one thing that is concerning though is if you go to the official Ringside report, it says once you unlock an item in the island, it will also be available in the main game as a create a superstar part. And they even put an exclamation point at the end. They're so excited to share this news with us. But let's be clear, this is not a new feature. It's being marketed as one, but I can go into community creations on 2K24 and get a Rhea Bloody Ripley logo and put it on a shirt on a created wrestler. But if what I'm seeing here is true, I now have to pay 12,000 VC for a basic Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt. That is $4 real life dollars. On top of that, it's 36,000 VC for a jacket, which is 12 real life dollars. For comparison's sake, I checked NBA 2K25. The equivalent of a Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt, let's say it's a jersey for my favorite NBA player. It's actually more expensive to get a shirt in WWE 2K25 than it is to get a jersey in NBA 2K25. That is not a good sign for us. We're seeing inflation in virtual currency. Now, the counter argument maybe is that this means the game will have more fresh content or evolving content, new attires throughout the game's life cycle because there's more money going directly towards new attires being purchased through virtual currency. Okay, I could see that. But look at this screenshot. All of these jackets that you see are the exact same asset that has just been recolored or rebranded with different logos and then slapped with a $36,000 VC price tag. It's the exact same stuff the community has been doing for so many years. It's not a difficult thing for them to do, and yet they're getting $12 of straight profit for changing the color and logo on a jacket. The slippery slope of that, though, in my opinion, is in this next sentence. If I can just go and download a Rhea Bloody Ripley logo, slap it on a black shirt, and then assign it to Rhea Ripley or my created superstar, why would I ever spend $4 actual on the Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt in the store? And if I'm 2K running a business, I'm very quickly going to notice this, label it as something like value leakage, and I'm going to quickly try to solve that. Essentially, I have a free alternative for my product within my product. It's counterintuitive to making money. So they can tackle that problem, I think, in one of two ways. You either design this My Superstar game mode and the island so well that people want to play this game mode and deck out their superstar and pay to make them incredibly good and have high attributes. You design this game mode so well that People don't really care about the Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt they can get on community creations because they care so much about decking out their My Superstar that's locked into this game mode. They're willing to spend 12,000 VC or $4 on that shirt. The other route, which is probably a lot easier for 2K as a business, is to start paywalling and restricting things that are available on the store from showing up in community creation. You give people only one option to get the Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt, and it's through the WWEshop.com, a Fanatics Experience store, only available on the island for 12,000 VC. It's a problem that's unique more to the WWE 2K franchise, which is why I'm interested to hear how they tackle it. And NBA 2K, creating a custom offline player isn't really a thing. So a long-winded red flag, but honestly, I think it's the most important one. Like it feels like community creation's death is kind of looming, maybe not this year, but in years future. And that would just break my heart, man. It's such a heartbeat of the WWE gaming community, and for 2K to sunset that for the sake of inflating top-line revenue, man, that would just kill the community. Another red flag is this nameplate that they've shown. It looks just like NBA 2K. So that level on the top right is linked to XP, which they talk about in the trailer. As you progress through levels, that unlocks certain content for you. Attires, My Team cards, which is like MyFaction, vehicles that you can use to navigate the city faster, all kinds of different things that you can acquire as you progress. The problem is, A, you can pay to skip levels and skip all the way to the end of the season pass, and that wouldn't be a problem to me if it was just cosmetic stuff. But the problem is it does have a sense of pay to win. Like, you can get attribute upgrades and badge upgrades through the season pass. And then B, there's more content within a premium version of the season pass that is, of course, locked behind a paywall. And that is honestly the way that 2K's designed it in the NBA franchise, the best versions of the rewards that you get. So it is very enticing to want to pay for the premium version and then pay for the level skips, and you basically get a competitive edge on day one compared to everyone else that didn't do that. Aside from that, you have your core overall on the bottom right, which is upgraded through virtual currency. You can, again, spend real money to acquire virtual currency and then use the virtual currency to upgrade your character's core attributes. Another pay-to-win kind of model. And then you have your ranking on the bottom, which is not pay to win. The bigger red flag for me is that it's clear 2K is following the same base model in WWE as they did with NBA. The question that remains is, how intentionally difficult are they going to make it to acquire VC? In NBA 2K, it takes a hell of a lot of VC to get to a 99 overall. It's incredibly slow to acquire it intentionally. Every single year, the rate at which you acquire VC goes down. And it's all by design to get people and sway people to actually buy VC with money. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I buy VC in NBA 2K. I am a part of the problem. I'm lucky enough to have a full-time job, and I don't play many other video games where I can justify the cost of VC, because the alternative is that I spend hundreds of hours grinding, frustrated, playing the game that I do actually love so much. A red flag within the red flag is that the VC pre-order premium edition bonus for both games was the same amount of VC at 100,000. So I imagine that scale between both games is going to be very similar. For context, 100,000 VC in NBA 2K gets you to about 80 overall. And then to get to full 99, it costs 375,000 VC. Yes, you heard that right. Which is basically about $100, which is just insane to me. I feel like I sound like a disgruntled conspiracy theorist, but I've just seen this happen with 2K over the years and what they've done with NBA, and I don't see any reason why that would change with WWE. I'm seeing the same progression. One other thing to call out in the trailer was showing a lot of quick flashes of the island, but we didn't get too much actual interaction with the island. I noticed every building has a little icon floating above the entrance, and this screenshot looks like it's inside of the Lucha District, but it also has another entrance to get to what looks like a ring. You see that ring icon there. We all know the WWE 2K servers are pretty terrible, and they haven't really gotten better. I don't think the servers are built for the grand vision just yet. They've announced it's a max of 50 characters in every given island, which honestly is not that much for just roaming around. It's not like we're doing wrestling live amongst 50 people. We're literally just walking. What it seems to me is that all of these entrances are instanced. What I mean by that is when I go to a store or when I go to a district, it's not going to be like I'm walking in there and I can walk out and the world and people that I see when I walk back out are the same users that I saw when I walked in. What I'm foreseeing is 2K didn't invest the money into their server infrastructure to handle this kind of a load. They've instead used development and game design to reduce the load on the servers. So what that means for us as users is likely a bunch of loading screens that's going to kill the allure of this living island within a couple hours on day one. I hope I'm wrong there, but I don't think I am. It's kind of what they did with NBA 2K in the very early days as well. And the last red flag is the death of offline. The island storyline, in which we endeavor to impress our tribal chief, feels like it's going to take the place of MyRise to me. I'm not going to lie, MyRise hasn't been anything too crazy or fleshed out in recent years, but it's been a nice little game mode to come back to every now and then. What we're probably going to get in this island storyline is a mixture of what happens in NBA 2K and MyRise. Probably just going to be a bunch of back and forth between quest givers, a mixture of offline and online based matches, and unfortunately, probably a lot of looking at your in-game phone, responding to text messages, much like they were in MyRise. And I forget what they called the phone in this. They like rebranded the phone to something, yeah, the Line, a device used to track your progress and communicate with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Like they're acting like this is a complete new feature. They've just given it a fancy name, but it's literally just the phone that we had in MyRise, and I guarantee you it's gonna look the exact same. And my point about cutscenes, like look at the marketing release, the ringside report that they have. This is the screenshot that they've elected to show us. It's a generic Roman Reigns background. It's Paul Heyman's shitty character model looking at us, and it's just text that we're probably going to have to read. I hope they at least have a voiceover, but if this is the best thing they can show us in the press release, it's not going to go uphill from here. What I think the ultimate vision is that they're weaning us off of the offline storyline model of gameplay and more to PvP. Because when you're playing online as a 60 overall, that's a fresh drop into the island, and you're surrounded by 99 overalls in PvP, you're going to very quickly realize when you do the math against how long it takes to get to where they are, you don't want to spend that much time, but you're willing to maybe drop a little bit of cash to help speed up the process. Trust me, I've lived it. It happens. Talk to anybody in the NBA 2K community, they'll tell you the same thing. The problem, I think, with the vision of going more PvP based is WWE games, I just don't think they're built for PvP. Like, have you ever played an online game of WWE 2K? It's a spammy mess. It's chaos. It's incredibly frustrating. It doesn't feel like an actual wrestling match. And I really doubt 2K has put time and effort into creating a more well-balanced and enjoyable PvP online gameplay. So personally, I just don't think I'm going to be able to get invested into a fake storyline on a fake island, especially if the progression of the storyline is just through random quest givers on the island and texts on my The Line phone. And I know for a fact, I'm not going to be able to play multiple PvP matches in a row and grind my way through online because, like I said, it's just not fun and it's not rewarding, even when I win. So to sum all of this up, I'm complaining a lot, but I've lived through this. I'm trying to prepare you for what's going to happen with WWE 2K because I've lived it over the last 10 years with the NBA franchise, and I've just come to terms with it, and I found my own way to enjoy the game that I've loved for so many years. Try not to let the toxicity of the company or the community get to your head. Enjoy the game in the ways that you actually enjoy it versus the ways that you're forced to try to enjoy the game. So I don't know, guys. Maybe I am really just a jaded conspiracy theorist. I hope I'm wrong about all of this, but let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm right? Have you played NBA 2K? Does any of this resonate with you? Do you think I'm overreacting? Comment your thoughts below. And this is my first WWE 2K video. So if you want me to make more gaming-based videos, let me know. I usually just stick to straight-up WWE content, but I'm happy to do more of this, especially as we ramp up for release day.